Hello and welcome back to Three Sisters in a Podcast. This is your host, Atasha, together with Chloe and Fria.
Yes, we're back and sakto kakatapos na ng Valentine's Day. So for today, we've invited some of our friends to talk about love, especially about marriage.
At dito sa Three Sisters in a Podcast, syempre hindi mawawala ang pag-view natin sa mga topics tulad ng love, marriage, etc. nang hindi ini-involve ang theological understanding with those topics.
Yes, it's very important that we do this, lalo na with our fellow Catholics. We have to have a clear understanding of what our scripture really mean and how we should view these aspects of our lives, tulad ng marriage, diba?
Yes, kaya some of our guests here would like to share some of their points on the theological understanding of marriage. Lalo na't kasal na siya and she's happier than ever.
Ayan, so our guest here for tonight is Mika. Pakilala ka naman, ilang taon na ba kayo ng asawa mo?
Hi, I'm Mika and I've been married for 15 years. Pero we've been mutually exclusive together for almost 20 years na.
Ay, taray, tagal nyo na pala. So, what do you think made you two last that long? Kasi I'm sure naman sa tagal nyo yan, marami na kayong pinagdaanan.
Well, I always view our relationship as a unique one. Kasi once that we mutually agreed to a public and sacred covenantal promise sa harap ni God, we know that we will always have the intention of happiness sa isa't isa. Bale, a lifetime of companionship na yun.
So it's an honest hard work, no? Na every day you have to strengthen each other with love lagi-lagi. Pero bakit? Wala ba kayong rest day dyan mag-asawa?
It's a lot of work and definitely walang rest day. Pero every day we choose to cherish each other as kasi our marriage is a gift from God Himself eh. And having someone who you could be profoundly vulnerable and yet be lovingly intimate is what I believe to be one of the best manifestations of God's love for us.
So, parang through your marriage, mas doon mo nakilala or nakikita yung love ni God para sa inyo?
Oo. Kasi I think that's where I could see the connection with God no matter what the circumstances are. It's always us, as one. Marriage is a one-flesh union, ika nga nila.
So, it's a very specific kind of union ba? Yung tipong buong pagkatao mo, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, iisa kayo?
Yes, kasi nga sabi nila, di ba, till death do us part. Kasi the love within that marriage has to be so strong na wala nang iba makikipaghiwalay kundi death na lang.
Tama ka dyan. Marriage is indissoluble. Meaning, kapag may pinakasalan ka, you're expected to give that person your full commitment. And this comes with a lot of responsibilities and self-sacrifice. Pero kahit kasal na, nag-aaway pa din, di ba? So, how do you handle disagreements in your marriage?
Love is very complicated, more so with marriage since it would mean that comes with all of the bad things and good things in life with your partner. I think natural lang naman mag-away, so at the end of the day, you have to set aside those differences and be a good example to your children.
So, yun nga, Mika showed us that educating and being a role model to your children is one of the most important things that you have to do. So, St. Thomas Aquinas has mentioned that the second end of marriage supports the first end, wherein the parents seek to store up treasures for their children who are their common good.
Yan. Thank you, Mika, for sharing such a heartfelt explanation about your experience and realizations about marriage.
Now, moving on to our next guest, we have someone that's newly married. Kakapasal pa lang niya just last month.
Hi, my name is Tony and I'm newly married. My husband and I had dated for 7 years and 2 years siyang nanigaw sa akin from being each other's best friend to husband and wife na kami.
Ay, wow. So, pwede ba tanungin ko kung kailan siya nag-propose and how?
Yes, he actually proposed last April and it was a very private but intimate proposal and I really appreciated na he went through lengths to make me feel comfortable and assured me nga na there's no pressure in accepting their proposal.
Ay, taray ha, sana all. Pero, this just shows that when it comes to proposing and accepting a proposal, dapat buo yung loob mo and pinag-iisipan yung dalawa talaga yun din, no?
Oo, tama ka dyan, Fria. Marriage kasi is not just a contract, but a covenant. We also have to realize that marriage is a whole other level of love and trust since it mirrors the covenant that God made with His people.
Ayan, love is really in the air. Kaya for our next question, do you think sexual intimacy is important in marriage?
Well, for me it is, though I know that it doesn't fully define what marriage is, but sexual intimacy kasi can strengthen and solidify your relationship since it expresses the vulnerable side of your union. Consummating our marriage was a reminder that, oh, we are really married now.
I agree. Sex is a binding factor kasi in the relationship, and we know that marriage in essence is both the man and woman becoming one. And sexual intimacy is a topic that we really shouldn't shy away from because it's an important aspect of marriage.
May idea nga din na sex is a sin, pero we have to remember that marriage is something that God has given us as a gift. It is also through sexual intimacy na pwede kang bumuo ng sarili mong pamilya, which is ultimately the goal of marriage, union and procreation.
Mukhang napapahaba na ang ating chikahan, and as much as we want to ask more questions about marriage sa ating mga guests, di na rin kaya ng ating time.
Pero of course, don't worry kasi we will still continue talking about this topic sa susunod nating episode. But thank you for our lovely guests, Mika and Tony, for joining us for this week's episode. So, sa mga viewers dyan, hanggang sa muli ulit. Bye everyone!